I honestly don't think the Lakers are going back to the finals. I don't even think they're going to get out of the West.
First round.
Because, no, I'll give them first round, but I think if they come up against San Antonio, they won't beat the San Antonio Spurs.
I don't think
Let's also take a look at Boston, okay? Yeah, Boston is a good team. They have, 4, 5, 7 footers, okay? Let's look at their ages. Let's talk about something that can really forget the Lakers. And look, I'm a biggest Laker fan you can find, all right? But I need you all to talk about something more substantive. Put Lakers in the background for right now and look at the teams that are playing and that are playing good basketball.
See, and what I give
we talk about Boston every week, though.
What I give you props for is usually when I talk, because I've talked to a few Laker fans today, and they always have, it's almost delusional that they don't see what's happening. You could talk about all these other fans, and they still are there saying, oh, well, the Lakers are the team to beat. When if you look at the stats and you look at the gameplay,
110% with that call.
They're not.
What he's saying is look forward. Stop dwelling on this Lakers because the Lakers thing is a
look at
past.
teams.
Let's look forward.
Really
like the Miami Heat, the Boston Celtics, the San Antonio Spurs.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller.
All right.
I agree with him.
And as he was talking about Dallas, they are 13-1 since Dirk came back from the injury.
And what about Caron when losing Caron?
Well, Caron is trying to come back for the playoffs because now, with the trade deadline coming up, Dallas has to see if they need to make a trade to bolster their playoff hopes, or do you keep with this roster and then hope that Caron comes back healthy for the playoffs?
My thing with Dallas is like the Phoenix team of old. They always have a good season, but they're not tough enough when it's playoff time.
Yeah.
They can't get it together when it's playoff time, and the West is like the West a little too tough.
If anybody should know, you guys in 2006 when they played for the championship, they were up 2 games on you guys.
Yeah, and y'all
came back and went 4 straight.
But
and had home court advantage.
Yeah.
When it comes to Dallas, I think Dallas's thing, I think it's more of a mind thing with them. Mm-hmm. Because you can't doubt that Dirk Nowitzki is a big player. Mm-hmm. And Jason Kidd has been to the finals. That's why I'm more scared of San Antonio than of Dallas.
The Spurs got it together.
And the thing about the Spurs, what I like about the Spurs is they're so fundamentally sound. They don't have it's hard for them to lose because they play the basketball, they play sound basketball. Mm-hmm. And
only time I see them getting beat is when their shots are not falling.
And then also what I think why they don't get enough respect in the NBA is because the NBA now is a show squad.
Yeah.
So even
like the greatest show on turf for the St. Louis Rams back in the day.
Yeah. So now even though San Antonio would be the best team in the NBA, and they've been the best team in the NBA from the season started, I think.
Yeah.
Even when you watch NBA.com, when you watch ESPN, when you watch these shows, they hardly show highlights. They hardly talk about them because they're not.
I show on pass or on spin and one by Ginobili.
Yeah. You will see the Clippers on SportsCenter more than you see the Spurs.
Yeah.
Thank you, but that's what the fans want to see.
I think they have a 500 record.
Yes.
And they show the Clippers more than they show the Spurs.
Because the fans just want to see. That's why you say you have real fans, and then you have the casual passing fans that just want to see a couple alley-oops, a couple no-look passes.
I agree, and that's the market they target.
But I think
the ESPN stuff.
I think even if the Lakers meet up with the Oklahoma City Thunder,
I guess what's going on.
That they're gonna have problems.
Look at last year.
Yeah,
I think it was 2-2 last year, or something like that. I had them to beat the Lakers last year.
Yeah. I agree. I keep sticking my collar. Let's move forward from the Lakers.
Okay.
We even talking about Kobe today.
No more. Staying in the East, we have another subject that I'm getting tired of talking about every day. Carmelo and the trade.
I think he's going to the Knicks.
You think so?
Yeah. But
he doesn't want to go to the Nets. No. He's not going to sign the extension.
The Nets is going to do all they could to make sure they're the best team in New York.
Okay, well, for anybody who doesn't know what's going on with Carmelo, let me just explain it. Carmelo Anthony basically has said he doesn't want to stay in Denver. He wants to move on. He wants to go to New York. And with the NBA, the collective bargaining agreement that governs all the contracts and everything like that is about to run out at the end of this year. So Carmelo has a choice. He has a contract extension, 3 years, $65 million, sitting on the table.
At Denver?
So
wow.
Anybody who's you're not going to trade for a player who's going to become a free agent at the end of the year.
No.
So any team trading for him is asking him to sign
an
this
extension with the thing I'm going.
And the Nets have offered the best deal, but he hasn't signed off on going to New Jersey because he doesn't want to play for the Nets. Do I blame him?
No. Why play for the Knicks? You have a big man. So who else you gonna have after you and your big man?
But did you hear what the Nets owner did?
Yes,
the Nets
I agree with him. And
what
that's business.
He said that since the Knicks want Carmelo so bad, he just kept on talking to the Nuggets, so the Knicks have to rise their offer.
And keep on, putting a better offer on the table.
Players
but
off
if you ask me, he's helping Carmelo.
Yeah, but he's helping himself also.
Yes.
Because the less players that stay on the Knicks.
Yes, they'll have to rebuild all over.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, numbers.
Now, what we want to do is take a quick break. Let me give out the numbers for anyone else who has a question or a comment. 352-3984, 352-3985, or 242-300-4810. Let's take a break, and when we come back, let's talk more NBA teams and give out some mid-season grades.
Your way, you can have it your way. A Burger King every day. Single Whopper, double Whopper, Western Whopper, ooh wee. You know that's what I need, and don't forget the cheese. A double cheeseburger that's nice and juicy. So many chicken combos, you trying to confuse me. Original grill, don't forget the tender crisp. Those tender chicken tenders, man, I love this. And I don't want the fries, just give me onion rings. Yeah, have it my way, man, I come to Burger King. BK, you can have it your way.
And welcome back to Beyond the Score. And right now what we're going to do is we're going to run over some NBA teams and then going to give our grades as to how we think they've played up until the All-Star break. Let's start with Boston. How do you feel they've done so far in the season?
85%.
I give them a B+, yeah.
B+? Mm-hmm. I'll give them an A-. They had a lot of
because
injuries.
Because they beat you guys?
Especially because they beat us. They're sitting at the top of the East. They've had a lot of injuries. I don't know why they signed Jermaine O'Neal. He's been out practically the whole season.
They need him for playoffs. That's the real thing. They're building,
do you really think Jermaine O'Neal is going to be healthy for the playoffs?
No.
Even if he's healthy, do you think he'd be fit?
No, I don't think so.
But you realize if you look at the 7-game series, you know what it's all about. Let's put him in there to get 1-2 fouls or hit somebody. Pull him back on the bench.
To do some time.
But do you really... Hit who? I mean, a hit from Jermaine O'Neal isn't going to bother LeBron.
No.
It might bother Chris
Bosh. Look at him. Dunk on him.
Who's the next team?
Let's go to Chicago, the Bulls.
A+.
Yeah,
A+?
I'm impressed with them because with Noah being out, and Carlos Boozer being out for a while, and that team still lived up to their ability.
Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose has taken his game to the next level.
Yeah, I give him an A.
I shouldn't even ask this one, but I'm going to ask it just to be mean. Cleveland?
F-.
Yeah, because in a way you should dwell on one man being your successor to make you successful, and you lose 26 games
in a row.
Impossible.
Who's next? F. I agree with F.
I mean, I'm going F. H.
The Dallas Mavericks.
I give them a B+.
I'll give them a C.
Give them a B+.
Why only a C? Second in the West.
I give them a B+.
I give them a C.
I give them a B. I'll give them a B. I think with all the injuries, Dirk...
I still think they're supposed to be playing. I understand with the injury part, so I should take that back.
Since they're second in the West, I'll give them a B.
And they're a seasoned team. They play good in the season, so I give them a B+.
That's the problem. So what happened to playoff?
We talking about preseason. We talking about halfway through.
Denver Nuggets.
Let's talk about them, man. D.
D?
I give them a C.
D.
I'll give them a C for now, but I think by the end of the season, they'll be on an F.
Yeah.
I think after Carmelo leaves, they clean house.
Mm-hmm. But I think they should learn from the Cleveland Cavaliers and move on.
Cleveland hasn't moved on.
I'm saying learn from their mistakes and move on and say, don't worry about Carmelo, we're going to show them we're still an organization.
No, I think they should just trade him for whatever they could get. It's better than letting him leave and you get nothing.
Yeah.
So but even in the meantime, when you know he's going by Thursday.
Yeah.
So, you know what you need to do? Guys, keep your head up in the locker room. Let's move on and let's win games and show that we're an organization to be reckoned with.
But you can't move on once the man is still there. He's still there.
Still have to look at him every day. Come Thursday,
yeah,
you move on. You don't worry about what his name is, Carmelo. Move on. You close that door and open a new door and try and make the playoff.
Los Angeles Clippers.
I give them an A.
You give them an A?
I give them a C+.
No, my bad. They have a bad record. What are you thinking? I give them an A for their highlights.
I give
and I give them a C.
A C, and I give Blake Griffin an A.
Yeah, I give them an A for their highlights.
Sometimes you have to split it up.
If you look at it, every ESPN highlight that Clippers played the night before.
No, as a matter of fact, I give them a C- because they lost to the Cavs.
You did, yeah.
I give them a C-. Now, quickly, we're not going to dwell on this team, Lakers.
I give him a B.
I give them a C.
B.
I give him a B. Let's move on.
Miami Heat.
I give him a A minus.
A minus.
A minus. Yeah.
I'll say B
plus. Making out y'all. LeBron have the ability to win every game, and he's be joking.
Because LeBron is unselfish. He might be selfish with his money and with where he's going, but when it comes to on the court, LeBron.
I'm sure they low blow into my Heat fans, not with his mama.
Anyway, next team.
That's
moving
right along.
Lower than low. Let's go to the New York Knicks.
I give them a B plus.
B plus.
Yeah, because they started off kind of hot. Now they're kind of in the middle, and depending on what happens with this Carmelo trade, you'll see what happens.
You don't know if that will affect their chemistry.
Yeah, because they might get Carmelo and then miss the playoffs because you don't know what they're going to give up and what kind of effect that is going to have on them.
And you can't like the spotlight. I think Carmelo is being driven by his wife. I don't care what nobody say, because she's an actress or whatever she is, and she lives in New York, so he's trying his best to get in New York.
Coming from the boss, that's just see.
He's saying my wife has nothing to do with this, but his wife have all to do with it.
That's how women go.
You see what I'm saying? You won't keep me.
You don't agree?
They say you won't keep me. Stay in Colorado then.
That's
see what's gonna happen. See what's gonna happen.
See? That's how women go.
I say no more.
Oklahoma City.
Give them B.
B?
I give them a B plus.
My problem with them is they win too much. There's been too much close games. Check the scores for the season. Their ratio, but they might win by 5 or more points in but 5 games.
Win is a win. It don't make a difference.
Yeah.
But you don't keep them close games. If you could beat a team, beat them down.
A win is a win. Yeah.
Still, the same close game, you have to catch up with that.
Yeah.
I said I give it to them.
Orlando.
I give them C.
C. I give them a C because right now only one player on Orlando is worth guarding. Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard.
And they don't have any defense.
Somebody please send to Toronto. Was it Toronto?
Who? Who did what?
And send back for that boy who
you mean for oh, you mean the Turkoglu deal?
Turkoglu.
No, well,
send to Toronto and tell them to please send a real Turkoglu back to Orlando.
Yeah, because Turkoglu. Don't we always talk about? Was it Turkoglu tried to dunk?
Yes, right? Turkoglu.
Yes, send a real
Big Baby Turkoglu. Jr. Let's go to San Antonio.
You gotta give them an
A. I give them an A plus.
Because everybody was just counting them out as old.
Coming into the season, if I had told you San Antonio would be the number 1 team, not in the West, in the NBA, by a wide margin, would you have believed me?
I'd have to, because I would head on my ass all the time.
I would think they would have a case, because see, with how San Antonio plays basketball, they conserve a lot of energy. They play efficiently, they get the job done, they're in and they're out. So if I could believe that they're number 1, but I wouldn't think it's by such a wide margin.
As long as they stay healthy, I think they have a good. Well, that's mostly for any NBA team. As long as you stay healthy, you have a good chance.
The biggest things to me,
and
you
then
ask
if
me
you
all
have
aspect, but I don't see him on the court as much because I see the Hills and the other guy is RJ, Richard Jefferson.
Well, Richard Jefferson now just stays in the corner and shoots threes.
Yeah, but he still could be a pain because he's a jinx.
Why is he a jinx?
Ask the New Jersey Nets when they've been to the championship with him how much times?
You could say that with Jason Kidd.
True.
Well, then he's on Dallas, so you could call that a jinx too.
Yes.
And then you could say the same thing with Kenyon Martin. All of me as he was here.
But I think Jason Kidd and RJ's problem is women.
You think so?
Jason Kidd is the wife beater, so he ain't nowhere. That's his jinx. And RJ left the woman at the altar, so that's his jinx.
One that's petty.
Yes.
Petty.
That's a low blow.
Well, we are starting to run out of time, so let me just go over the schedule for this week, because, we have a lot of games going into...
After the second part of the season.
Now, we have a few big games. I don't like to go over all
the little games, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But tomorrow night, because there are no games tonight, you could say Clippers Thunder. You could get a little dunks. That's about the closest I can get.
That's the NBA TV highlight game.
Then you have... No, I won't even say that game. I don't feel like saying that. You have Spurs Thunder. That's Wednesday. And the Lakers and the Trailblazers. Thursday, big game. Heat Bulls. Celtics Nuggets. If Carmelo is still there. Friday, we have the Magic and the Thunder. Friday, also Clippers and the Lakers.
Why they give Thunder for 3 hard games coming up the All-Star break?
Sunday.
They know something.
Wait, we in for it? Sunday, Thunder and the Lakers. And the Knicks and the Heat.
I would like to know their record on Monday. How much games they won? Oh, that tough schedule.
They might